Hello, my name's Linda Erliz from Greenman Ceramics, and I'm going to do a workshop today for all those people that can't make it to my workshops. If you are nearby, you can come to one of the workshops. All the details are on the link below. So today we're going to be making a Moongazing Hare. I'm going to be using some raku clay, sculpture clay today from Pottery Crafts. Might get a sponsorship there. Pottery Crafts, raku. So I'm going to get this out of the way. So I'm going to start. So I've got some pieces already prepared. So for the first bit, we're going to start with the body. So we've got a lump of clay, this sort of size. Don't have to measure that really, you can see. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give it a little bit of a smooth out. So I'm just going to use my thumb to just smooth the clay out. And also, while you're smoothing it out, you're sort of shaping it a little bit as well. So you're going from fat to thin, up to the top. You're also making it a little bit longer. Okay, so smooth, smooth, smooth. When I'm at the workshop as well, I always say this because it sort of like gets you used to feeling the clay a little bit, because some people are really tentative with the clay, some people not. Okay, so obviously this is going to be too thick to go in the kiln as it is, so we need to hollow it out. So all I do is I use my thumb, stick it up its bum. So the thumb, and I press down till my thumb goes right up to the top. Obviously my thumb is not quite big enough to get to the top, so I'm just going to finish that off with a longer finger. Okay, so then what you're going to do, and also if you're using I use one of these boards, and then it's just really easy to wipe your hands on them, keep your hands clean, and also keep your tools clean as well. Okay, so it ends up something like that. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to pinch that out a little bit. So thumb inside, and I'm just going to give it a bit of a pinch, and I'm pushing it out so the back ends up sticking out a little bit more. So you've got a straight side and a more bent side there. You want it to look like it's sitting down, so it's a good idea just to turn it around a little bit and just give it a bit of a smooth round like that. So flat, and then a big bump sticking out there. If you push it out a little bit more at the bottom, you can end up with like a big bummed hair, which is alright as well. It's completely up to you. Oh, and then so at the top there, because we've pulled that up there, we just need to carry on smoothing that up to the top, just so that you end up with a more rectangular bit on there for its shoulder. So that's going across its chest like that. And we're going to stick it on the wheel for ease. Okay, so that's the body done for now. The next bit, we're going to make some big whopping feet. So I've rolled out a piece of clay, quite substantial. You can see what size feet this is going to make. If you want yours to be smaller, just use a smaller ball of clay. Or if you want even bigger feet, you can use a bigger one. So roll a ball, and then I'm going to cut that in half. So we get 2 equal feet, like that. So the flat side is going to be for the bottom, so you're not going to see that, so that just gets left as it is. And then the round bit here and here are going to be for the toes. So that's going to be for the toes, and then this bit we need to elongate to make the long paw. So I'm just going to use my finger and thumb on the sides, my finger and thumb top and bottom, and I'm going to just squeeze and pull that backwards like that. Now that'll make quite a lumpy fat foot. If you want it a little bit thinner, just do it a little bit more until you get the shape that you want. Now obviously using that technique you end up with a ridge like that, so you don't want that. So you just use the pad of your thumb just to round all that off. Like that. You do it with that sort of shape. And then repeat on the other side. So you need to make two. You need to try to make these obviously a similar size. I never say the same size because it's quite difficult and I don't think it's that necessary really. I like a bit of character. And if one foot looks better than the other, you can always display it on the side. Just choose the best side. Okay, so we've got 2 now. Okay, so the next bit is we're going to do the toes. Now, I do 3 toes on mine. Sometimes I do 4, but when I'm doing smaller ones, I tend to do 3 toes, even though they have 4, because it looks better. And also in workshops, it's a lot easier to do because it is a little bit fiddly. And 4 sometimes just looks a little bit too cluttered. And as my hairs are not anatomically correct, you know, they are a character sort of hair, slightly made up, slightly humanised as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 cuts for 3 toes. So you're just going to cut into the end of the foot. So you're cutting all the way around and then up, and then you're going to splay the toes out like that. And then you're going to soften these edges. You don't want these harsh edges here. So just by pinching, you're going to just pinch, 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 right to the end of each toe. So when you're doing this, if you just put your finger underneath and just support it a little bit so it's not wiggling and waggling everywhere. So you're going to do it so that it's got some nice points on the end as well, like that. And then I'm going to put some little claws in. So I've got a scoopy little spoony tool here. These are official names actually, by the way. Scoopy spoony tool. And I'm going to press that in, give it a wiggle from side to side, pull it away and then pinch the end. So I'll push it in, wiggle it, pull it off, pinch, press in, wiggle, wiggle, pull off, pinch. When you've done that, the final thing to do is you're going to push it together. Now if you push it together with your fingers right at the ends of the claws that you've just made, and just a gentle push all the way together, and then just a slight more pressure on the end so that you end up with a nice shaped paw like that. And then you're going to repeat on the other side. So I'm cutting these about 2 centimetres, 3 centimetres even. So they go right over and right on there. If you do them too short and pull them apart, it's going to be really, it doesn't look as good, and it's quite difficult to do this bit because you've got to pull them a decent amount apart. Don't be frightened. Pinch, 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 pinch. Pinch, 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 pinch. All the way to the end. End it in a bit of a point, and then you've got your claw almost made then. Press, wiggle. And then close it up. We have 2 beautiful paws. Massive as well. We like big paws. Okay, right, I've forgotten to do something. So before you do that, we should have put the tail on really. If you put the tail on, then you just don't, it saves you getting confused about which bit's front and back. So for the tail, I should have done that. So for the tail, something about that size, I'll show you what that makes. Obviously you can make smaller tails or bigger tails. I'm going to just do that into a slight oval. Like that. Give it a bit of a tap. So it's got a flat edge, a little bit more area to stick together, and then we're going to stick this on. So I'm going to stick this on by cross hatch and slip. So we're going to use a needle tool to do some cross hatch. So to cross hatch 2 pieces together, you need to put some lines one way, some lines the other way, and then the bit where we're sticking it, we're going to stick it right onto the bum at the bottom here. So we're going to cross hatch that. We're all going to be blending this in as well, but at the workshops I always make sure everybody cross hatches and slips everything. So the slip is just clay and water mushed up together, and that's your clay glue. So when you're putting your clay on, you're better off dabbing it so that you don't get rid of all your cross hatch. And then I'm going to just support the hair, press it on a little bit with your hand, just move these out in a minute. And then I'm just going to finish that off. I'm just going to make sure it's connected really well. You can shape the tail a bit more if you want. It's a bit long, that tail, isn't it? Shape the tail a little bit more. I think we're going to push that in a bit. It looks a bit long. And then you're going to put some texture on. I'm going to use the flat side of one of these tools, but you can just as easily use this tool here. And you're just going to put some texture on. I'm actually using the flat side of the knife, rather than the cutty bit. If you use the cutty bit, you'll end up chopping the tail off, which is not good. So I'm just going to buff the tail up, make it a bit fluffier. A bit more but like a bunny tail really, but I like it. Okay, so then now, because you've got the tail on, you can sort of measure up the feet a little bit more. So just make sure that there's an even space at the back like that, otherwise it looks all twisted. And they're going to get fitted on so that they're parallel to the body, like that. So again, I'm going to cross hatch the side, cross hatch the inside of the foot where it's going to be connected. Dab your slip on, and then give it a nice firm press onto the side. Don't press too hard because you want to keep this with some area, because the leg is going to be fitting onto the top of the foot there. So connect both sides on. And again, cross hatching both sides. So you're always cross hatching both sides, slip one side.